Hockey town, going down to hockey town, whoa, whoa. Hockey town, take me down to hockey town, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection Show is on the air. We're at PACT-TV studios in Duluth, and it's Tuesday, January 18th. And we got another special guest. We finally got a junior hockey coach in the studios. Brendan Phelps, the Minnesota Wilderness assistant coach, and probably you're the top recruiter for the team too, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of the recruiting, but thanks for having me on, Jerry.
Yeah. So where are you originally from, and how did you get into the North American Hockey League?
Originally from Colorado, and I once I kind of got done playing, I got into coaching as soon as I got done, and played hockey growing up in Colorado. So as soon as I got done playing, started coaching there again, and got into AAA, which is a little different than high school up here, but then got there and decided it was time to kind of get into junior hockey. And I was lucky enough, Dave Boytz gave me an opportunity, and here we are now.
So how did you know Dave from being out in Colorado coaching and playing?
I didn't know him at all. I was randomly sending out some emails and kind of seeing who needed some help. And like I said, lucky enough that Dave actually answered the email. So it was fantastic. And
So were you born and raised in Colorado then?
I was born in California, but moved to Colorado when I was pretty young.
What part of California?
San Jose.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So what part of Fort Collins?
Yeah, Fort Collins, Colorado.
Nice area.
Yeah,
Very
beautiful,
nice area.
beautiful.
I go out to Colorado about five times a year, and I lived out there 3 years.
Little warmer there than it is
Getting
here.
crowded again.
Oh, it's extremely
Going up that
crowded.
25
yeah.
and all.
Yeah.
So let's get down to the Minnesota Wilderness. They're out at Cloquet, and most of your games are on the weekends.
Yep,
And
Saturday.
I'll tell you, I start the year in hockey with the Elite League and the Showcase, which is this year the North American Hockey League has 29 teams. So they all show up in Blaine at the super rinks. And I tell you, it's getting crazier and crazier every year watching all these kids come in. And them first few days watching these kids, I kind of get dizzy. I mean, watching these kids, but every team changes their roster probably up to 50% by the time the USHL starts dropping their kids.
It's a crazy part of it, right? I mean, you look at that showcase and what an unbelievable experience it is for the kids. I mean, even with the movement that you have, some kids end up in the North American NA3 league, and some other kids find spots to go to. But it's a great place for all colleges, whether it be Division III, Division I, to get a look at some of these kids, and then you have the trickle down effect from the USHL to the North American League, and there's a lot of moves that go into the season. There's a lot of moves.
It's amazing. I don't know how you guys do it, because I watch these kids and, hey, they might make a good play, and then 15 minutes later, it's the same guy. What?
Yeah, no.
I know. That's got to be the toughest job
day
in the
by
world.
day. You just got to take it day by day.
So one of my friends is a coach in high school, and one of his things is always how the kid does in practice. If you have that philosophy, they play hard in practice, they're probably going to have a better chance of playing more. And
Yeah, 100%. You, especially with how much we practice, you have to work at it, right, every single day. So I mean, these kids are so good anymore now that if you don't put the right habits in place at practice, when it comes to game time, the teams are so evenly matched. The team that usually works harder throughout the week is gonna have the advantage going into the weekend. So it's got to be something that every kid's got to work hard every single day.
Yeah, I've been watching North American Hockey League for over 20 years, and I know Mark, your commissioner, and Alex, the communication director, and boy, a good group of people that run this league. And I tell you what, they do a good job. And just in the last 10 years, I think your league has caught up with the USHL big time. They're not there yet, but I say the first two lines can compete with a lot of the USHL teams.
The league's getting better and better every day, and I mean, that also goes to how many great kids there are playing the game right now. You look at it, and it is some of these kids that just didn't get an opportunity in the USHL, or it's the wrong opportunity and doesn't work out. I mean, we have kids on our team who could very well easily play in the USHL, and it's the way we describe it. It's just a different style of hockey,
Right.
Right. I mean, there's no doubt about your high end in the USHL is extremely good, right?
Well, the high end comes in early, then you find out within a year and a half that who they really are. But North American Hockey League is a little older, and if you're sticking around, if you get to 19, 20 years old, you have a chance to get a scholarship or
100%.
To move on and play college hockey. And most of these kids, they have heart and they have smartness. I mean, they're going to be there.
Yeah, you look at our team right now, we have a handful of 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds that don't have their commitment yet, but they will.
Right.
There's still some extremely high-end kids that play in the North American League, and that's what makes it so much fun to watch and so much fun to be a part of.
You know, it's so funny, and when you go down to that showcase, it's just packed at the super rink.
Oh,
but
yeah.
there's over 300 scouts, recruiters. Every college will have some, and every D3 college. I mean, other junior teams are watching.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to snap someone up. As soon
Yeah. It's a crazy atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's a fun atmosphere.
And I know the owner, Chris Trapp. You got a great owner, too.
No, he does an unbelievable job taking care of the boys, and that's what makes our program so good. Is we have support all the way from the top down, and just a great staff that goes into it. So the boys get what they need every single day.
His kid played for you guys on defense, and Alex. And,
Yeah.
And I tell you, I drove when Alex was in high school. Chris and I would go down. I'd drive,
Nice.
go with him down to the cities to watch a high school game and that. And it's just fun talking to him and how
yeah.
he loves having this team.
He's such a good
and-
guy.
And he comes up. Now he moved down to the cities, and he comes up to a lot of the games.
100% he does, and especially when we're in the cities when it's easy to get to, he's there. So it's awesome to have that support.
I'm going to say one thing. You know, I try to get to any game. If there's not I got to go to Wild games. I got to go to college games and that. But I like the atmosphere. I like the way these teams are going up and down, the skating on North American Hockey League games. And I tell you what, I don't know what's the price of tickets right now.
$12.
$12.
Yeah.
It's a
$10,
great
$12,
venue
yeah.
to bring a
Oh, yeah.
family. I mean, out to Cloquet, they play at the Northland Credit Union Arena. Northwood, right?
Northwoods,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, for $12, you can't get your value. It's there. You'll love the game, and you're right on the action too. And you're not way back and like in the Wild up in the third
yeah.
deck or something,
No,
paying $100 for parking, food, and one beer. You know.
When you think about it that way, you're going to see some kids, whether it be, Aaron Pionk, who just committed to Mankato.
Right.
You look at some of our 20-year-olds. One of our 20-year-olds just committed to Western Michigan. We have
Nice.
we have a few kids in between there that are going to play big time college hockey, right? So
Right.
when you think about it that way, $10-12 to go in to watch one of those games, it's an awesome place to be.
Boy, it's kind of funny when you just mentioned Aaron Pionk. The family is a great hockey family, and he gets a scholarship. He's committed to Mankato, but what a couple weeks for Hermantown.
Yeah.
Two players that played in high school.
Yeah.
Same two players played in college at UMD and won a national championship together. Now they played on
Winnipeg,
same
yeah.
defensive line. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's one of the things that you always say about hockey, right? It's such a small world, and then you end up having two guys from the same high school, same college, end up playing as a D pair together in the NHL. It's pretty
And then
cool.
UMD has three players that are from
Yeah.
Hermantown.
Yeah.
Mankato has two playing.
Yeah.
Hermantown. I tell you what, I have to go back. I was up at the War Road game on Saturday.
Yeah.
That had to be the best hockey game I've seen this year by far.
I heard it was a good game.
Yeah, and too bad you had a game
I
or
know.
something like that. But
Yeah, I think I'm going to go try to see War Road play Roseau, and I think next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long ride.
Yeah, it's a drive. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll like the D on War Road in that first line.
Yeah,
very much.
yeah.
You can tell they're rink rats because they're out there a lot and they don't look gassed like some of these teams.
Yeah.
Players out there too much, they're gassed. And these kids must really work out good.
Yeah, I know War Road has some high end kids, so it should be. And Roseau's got a good team this year too. So
And that Strand kid,
yeah, Max Strand. Yeah,
he's going to be one of he might make my top 7 list of Mr. Hockey.
Yeah, no, he's having an unbelievable year. And then you have Thor Bufflin on the back end too. And they got a good team. War Road's got a good team, but Hermantown's playing pretty good right now.
Right. Okay, let's get to recruiting. What are you looking for? Are you looking for big size, speed, smartness, or everything?
It kind of goes from everything, right? You think about some of the kids that we have coming in next year. You look at Bo Janzig, who's the captain of Hermantown.
Yep.
On the back end. You look at Red Mork, who's the captain of Grand Rapids on the back end. And then you look at Barrett Hall, who's the captain of Gentry. And you kind of, leadership is a big part of it, right? So as you put everything together, you put your team together, you want a good group of kids.
Right.
And you look at kids like Ren Mork, Bo Janzig, Barrett Hall, and they're all awesome kids.
Right.
And so they're all going to be a big part of our hockey club.
I'll tell you what, I saw you at the Rapids game last week, and I'll tell you what, Rapids has a lot of kids that probably that can play in the North American Hockey
100%
League.
they do.
And that one defenseman that you tender him already?
Yeah, we tendered.
Okay, yeah, I like him and Young a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, I like all the players on that. There's 4 good D on that team, and there are a lot of forwards.
Yeah, I know. Grand Rapids, they're going to be hard to beat come down to the time of it.
Well, they got to go through Andover.
Yeah, Andover's.
But I like Grand Rapids' schedule.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's going to help them, I think.
No, Grand Rapids has Joey Del Greco and Garrett Trotz, and they're playing well. And then
And Caden Nelson's playing good for them.
Yep.
Setting up them.
And
too.
then Ren Mork and Easton Young are hard to beat.
And
So,
you
no,
had
they
another
look
Rapids kid.
he's actually not gonna. He's gonna go somewhere else.
He is?
Yeah. So, but no, Grand Rapids.
He had
has
a good game
team.
the other day.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
Yeah,
it
he
was one
did.
of his better games.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been waiting for him for his size and that, but he had I thought one of his best games of the year that I've seen him.
But no, so when you look at
Okay.
those kids, they coming back to Ren Mork and Janzig and Barrett Hall, they play honest, right? So they show up every day and work hard, and we can't wait to see them in green.
Okay. How does there's so many kids in high school that want to continue hockey, and they don't know any information really. They get wrong information. So let's set it straight right now. What does your team do to try to get these teams or kids that maybe they're not quite there yet, but they're close? You have these tryout camps, and tell us a little bit about these tryout camps and how they work.
Yeah, I know. So we'll have our camps pretty much as soon as the season's done. I believe we're going to have one in Colorado, we're going to have one in Hudson, and then one in Michigan. And so it's all about finding them. And those camps are huge for us because at some points we don't get to see everybody.
Right.
And it's hard to see everybody. And sometimes the break from high school to getting into the summer, some kids can get a lot better. And that's why those camps are so important for us. And it gets some exposure to, we're doing our camps this year with the Bismarck Bobcats and Wichita Falls. So it gets exposure to a couple different teams, which is always good because sometimes a kid doesn't fit for us, but maybe he fits for Bismarck. And
Well, what does it cost for a kid to go to one of these camps, tryouts camp?
so $475, and so they get a lot of ice time for that, and that's the best part about it. And being able to be seen by multiple North American League teams is great. The full staffs are there, so it's a great weekend of hockey. which is what it's all about.
Is it a 3-day camp?
Yeah, 3-day camp. I believe they're on the ice 5 times. So be on the bench with the staff. So it's a great experience for the
Do you
boys.
allow anyone else into the rink to
Yeah,
watch this?
yeah, we do. So there'll be excuse me, there'll be some colleges there, and then there'll be some NA3 teams as well. So it's good. It's really a good exposure for the boys.
So I'm looking at the dates, like you're out in Colorado. Is Colorado because you lived out there and now you got the connections and all that? And
So
you can get some extra kids from Colorado help?
Yeah, I still have a lot of good ties to the AAA program that I coached at, and some of the other ones. So it's always good to get out there.
So you got May 27th to 29th, I got. I don't know
Yep.
if this is correct, but
Oh, yeah.
then you got June 3rd to 5th, and then
In Michigan.
less than a week later, it's out in Michigan. Hudson, I mean.
Hudson, yeah.
Yeah. Hudson after Michigan. But it seems like you're going to be on the, you almost have to be on the road for the whole time.
It'll be a busy
2
month.
weeks.
Yeah, it'll be a busy month. And
We're
then
over 2 weeks.
yeah. And then our North American draft is June 14th.
Oh, okay.
So that's another one of the benefits of doing these camps is you get to see so many kids where, okay, maybe we only saw them one time during the year.
Right.
And it's like, okay, let's see a couple more times before the draft. And we've drafted multiple players because of that. You look at our roster, and I think we have a handful of kids that said, hey, we know of you, but we didn't get to see you live.
Right.
So come on out, see the staff, meet the staff, and see if it's a good fit. And for a few kids now, it's been great, and they've ended up on our team because of it.
Right. Okay. Listen, a lot of fans or even people that haven't been out to the game, they got to get out there to Cloquet and watch you guys. But a lot of people don't understand the draft and tenders.
Oh, yeah,
Can you explain that in a simple form, maybe?
It's a complicated process, but I mean, so we're actually going through our tender process right now, right?
Okay.
Where Ren Mork, Barrett Hall, and Bo Janzig are 3 of our tenders, and then we're actually looking at a St. Louis kid right now.
Okay.
So what a tender essentially means is if you put the work in, we believe you're going to be on our team next year, right? That's the work we've done with our scouting to say we like you, we believe in you, and we're going to tender you.
Okay.
And so then each North American League team has so many of those.
Okay.
And then when you kind of go through there, maybe there's some kids that you need to watch a little bit longer, and that's when it goes into the draft. So then you build your draft lists and say, okay, these are kids that we need to see a little bit more of, or maybe they didn't start off very good in the beginning of the year and they develop through their senior year, right? That's the best part about the draft is some of these kids can have huge senior years,
Right.
And then you go into it and say, oh, okay, we gotta have them on our draft list.
So is there numbers of total for tenders and draft picks together?
Yes. So
Okay.
when you go into the off season, you have so many protected players, and that your tenders and how many returning players gives you how many draft picks you are able to have.
Okay,
in the
that's
draft.
why a lot of these teams, they draft 3 or 4 rounds and all of a sudden
They're
they
done.
ain't done.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
see them, and people.
Yeah, or you could have 15 picks.
Right.
So we have actually a little bit of an older team now.
Right, I've noticed that.
Yeah, and so then because we won't have as many returning players, we'll need to have a bigger draft list.
So you're working pretty hard on recruiting
Yes,
and looking at.
yes.
You got to look at a lot of kids. Okay. You see these kids. Oh, I got another question. Wait.
Yeah.
Let's go back and you get kids that play before and after, and they're still in high school.
Yeah.
Is that a tender? Is that a
So-
draft pick, or is that that usually that's play before and after?
Usually it's a kid that you're going to have a future with, right? Like Barrett Hall. Barrett Hall played
Right.
before
Okay.
high school, then he
Right.
went back to high school, and then he'll come back. So he's kind of, we're actually going to just add him to our roster. So it's a little bit different than a tender, but usually we have the ability to add 2 other kids that we've tendered to our roster at the end of the season. So come February 10th, the roster freezes, but then we'll have the ability to add 2 tenders to our roster.
How many can you have on the roster?
24.
24 only. I
Yeah.
thought it was more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then,
plus the 2.
yeah, then you can add 2 after
Okay.
that, and
Okay.
so then you'll be at 26.
Because I know, like, last year? Yeah, Joey Pierce. And
Yeah, Joey
then-
Pierce, yeah.
And you had Cole Christian that played
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Hey, I was looking at the standings. Let's see where I have that. You guys are right in the race for
Oh, yeah.
that. And you're playing a team, you played them twice last week and you won both games.
Yeah. No, it's. I
And
mean,
you're playing a minute, so it's kind of a rivalry because you're
100%.
in state and that.
yeah, no, we had an extremely tough Thanksgiving to Christmas, where it's one of those things where everything that could go wrong went wrong, and so now we're digging ourselves out of a little hole. But we have such a great group of kids that they show up every day to the rink and they work hard, and you can't really ask for much more. So
Right.
at the end of the day, you're happy about that, and we believe we have a team that can do it. When we're starting to get healthy, we're starting to get some guys back. Where Ethan Walters will be back in the lineup
Okay.
after an upper body injury. So that'll be good. We got William Person back, who
Oh, yeah, he scored
was-
a couple goals, didn't
yeah,
he,
he
the
was
other day?
he was the Midwest Star of the Week.
Oh, good.
And then I mean we had multiple guys play well this weekend. William Person had 5 points. Nico Rexine had 5 points. Max Rojo had 5 points this weekend. So you look at some of those guys. Max Neal had a great weekend. Those guys drove the charge this weekend, which is always awesome.
You got 5 teams within 8 points.
Oh, yeah.
And you got another, probably most teams have about 24 games left.
Yeah, so
Is
it's
it
gonna-
58 games?
60.
60, okay.
So
60.
it's going to be a crazy finish. It's going to be a
Right.
fun finish.
Oh, I know. And you play the Magicians on Friday night?
Yep, Magicians home and home again this weekend, and then we have home and home with Chippewa too. So two
So
teams right above us. So
You're
it's good.
playing almost 90% of your games in conference, the
Yeah.
Midwest.
Yep.
And you guys moved over to, I wonder why they do that, but you moved over where you have to go to play the Alaska teams
Yeah,
again.
yeah. So we'll get to go to Alaska in March. So it should be fun.
So you bring your guns? So
I've actually went hunting up in Alaska. So
fishing and hunting?
yeah, I've done that
Well,
before.
You practice and then you go hunting or
Yeah,
fishing,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
What's you play how many teams up there? 2 then?
Two. So we'll play 6 games up there.
Oh, 3-game
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
should be. They'll
They
be
do
huge.
the same when they come down here,
100%.
right?
Yeah. Not
Save
all the
money.
time. Not all the time, but sometimes. But I mean, we should have Hayden Cruz with all effort should be back by then. Barrett Hall could be back by then, so we could have our kind of full lineup once again. So it should be. We're excited. We're excited about the team that we can have, and I mean they're coming back off a break. We're 4-2, and even the 2 games we dropped, we felt like we played pretty good in them.
Yeah.
So we like our team.
Yeah. Well, we got Brendan Phelps, the assistant coach and top recruiter for the Minnesota Wilderness on our show, the Minnesota Hockey Connection today. And what was I going to ask you? I had the goaltending.
Yeah.
You had some problems during the season. You had some injuries and things didn't go right. but
Yeah.
You brought in an old friend of mine's kid
Yeah.
from back east, and I mean, I told Smalley, hey, you should checking him out at least. You
Yeah.
know? Many times, I bet a few people have told him that.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to keep watch on that stuff all the time.
Yeah, no. I mean, it was I wouldn't say our goaltending had a great go at things, but we didn't help them. We didn't help in front of them early on in the season too. We were giving up a lot of point blank opportunities, and doesn't matter how good a goalie you are. When you get some of those, it's hard to stop.
Especially when you're giving up too many odd man rushes and stuff like that.
Yeah, but no, we made some moves, and Conrad Couch, Duluth East kid, came in and he's been fantastic.
I mean, he's played 5 games and he's 2.5. If he can do 2.5 goals a game, I'd stick with him.
100%.
And
Yeah.
anything over 90% in this league.
It's really good.
Yeah,
No,
because
so-
I've looked at others and holy colors. You know what's so funny? Why most high schools don't have a goalie coach.
yeah, I
Maybe that's why Minnesota doesn't bring out the top goalies usually.
yeah,
There's a few good ones, but
yeah.
I'm saying,
It's I haven't figured out why there isn't more. But No, we look at we have one of the best goalie coaches in the world. Brent Nicklin helps us out.
Oh, really?
From UMD,
Yeah.
so that's always nice when he can. But no, I mean Conrad Couch is doing a great job, and then Matthew Smith came. We grabbed him. He had a great start in Granite City this year, and he had a good win on Saturday night. So we're pretty happy there right now.
How many times do you tender a player that you see? You see a lot of Minnesota high school games like
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And you tender the person, but the chances are this kid probably will be in the USHL.
I think it's the hardest part of this job, right?
Yeah.
Is where obviously you like some of the best kids, right? Because they're easy to pick out.
Right.
And you gotta try to find the kid where he's extremely good, but maybe he's not in a good place in the USHL, so he's gonna end up coming back to you. And it's the hardest part, right? Is because we actually, some of our tenders we actually still have 9 so-called players in the USHL right now, which is crazy to think about. But so we're doing our job and we're finding the right talent, but we need to find a little different talent
Right.
too. So it's the hardest part of the job.
Yeah. You gotta. It's almost like you have to find a sleeper.
100% you do.
Like all of a sudden he came out of nowhere, or he just started blooming right at the end of his high school career, or something like that. Or,
And that's what you're looking for, right? Is those guys that are on that upward trend where
Right.
they're getting better, and maybe they are going to be a extremely good 19-year-old, right? Where the USHL is kind of that 17 to 18.
right, they get the young ones because they
Yeah.
need so many 16 and
Yep,
17-year-olds.
exactly right. And so we found some good ones. Nico Rexine is a good look at that. He played prep school out east, and so he's a 19-year-old, so a little bit older, but he's having a great year for us. Gunnar Thorson was on the bubble of making Waterloo last year, and he's having a great season for us. And then you look at Ethan Walters, started his career in the USHL, and now got his commitment playing with us this year. So it takes a lot of different routes to be successful in your college hockey career, and that's what we're all about.
So when you go out to Alaska, do you play Fairbanks or do you play Anchorage and Kenai River? or
Kenai, yeah.
Kenai.
We actually played our games against Fairbanks were at Marshall this year. So because they wanted to come back and keep Marshall in the loop of things, we don't get to play Fairbanks up there, but we do get to play Kenai
other
and
two.
Anchorage. Yeah,
Okay.
which should be a blast.
Okay. So what team do you play the most the rest of the season? In your
Ooh, that's a darn good question.
is it St. Cloud's not in your?
No, we play St. Cloud twice.
Yeah, I saw the. Let's see.
I think it's pretty evenly spread between.
Okay.
I think we play Janesville 4 more times.
Okay.
We play Fairbanks
Okay.
once, I believe.
They come back here.
Yeah. And then the 2 Alaska teams,
Okay.
3-6.
Okay.
Magicians maybe twice more after this weekend. So I think it's pretty evenly spread.
Yep. Okay, folks, get out to Cloquet Northwood Credit Union Arena. There's going to be a big game Friday night. It's at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, 7:15.
7:15. Okay, 7:15, and the Magicians down from the Twin Cities are coming up, and it's going to be a big weekend because these two teams are, I think, within 2 points of each other, right?
Yeah, I believe 3 points,
3 points
right now. And
But so these are big games.
Huge
I mean,
games.
huge games. So thank you, Brendan, assistant coach for the Minnesota Wilderness, for being on the Minnesota Hockey Connection show. Thank you, Liz and Vicky, for producing the show, and see you at the rink.
Thanks for having me.